Let's start by taking a look at the design, because once again Realme has come up with a very nice and attractive design. This device will arrive available in two colors. The first one is beige and the second one is dark blue, but in both cases we see a synthetic leather finish for the back cover, which by the way has curved lines on the sides for a comfortable grip. On this back cover we are going to find a centered line with a metallic look, which honestly looks very nice, joining with the outline of the camera module that is circular, which also has a metallic look. This design is very reminiscent of flagship devices from Huawei, Honor and even Xiaomi, so it is becoming more and more common to see these types of designs with a rather large round camera module centered on this back cover on top of the range devices. Although it should be made clear that this Realme device is not their flagship device, but interestingly they have put some very interesting little details that are not usually seen in devices of this same range. On the right side the device has volume buttons and the power button. On the left it is completely clean. Below it has the tray for the SIM card, a microphone, USB-C port and the main speaker, and at the top is placed another secondary audio output to integrate stereo sound, which by the way is compatible with Dolby Atmos in its settings, and also in this top part is going to have an additional microphone. On the front we will find a curved glass cover, so you can also take advantage of edge lining, which is a feature that through software can illuminate these edges when receiving a call or any notification. We are talking about a 6.7-inch OLED display with a circular cutout to place the front camera there, which by the way is 32 megapixels. In addition, we are going to find a fingerprint reader inside the screen, with the ability to change the animation also through software, so you can customize your experience as much as possible. One little detail that could go unnoticed is that this device arrives with the vibration motor on the X-axis, which gives you an extremely good experience in conjunction with O-haptics, which is a feature that both Realme and Oppo integrate in their most spoiled devices. So, it gives you very good feedback when you're holding the device in your hand, but possibly the most remarkable thing about this device is the photographic section. It has 3 cameras, but thanks to cutouts inside the sensor, we could say that in total it integrates 5 cameras. To begin with, we have the ultra-wide camera of 16mm with 8 megapixels and f2.2 aperture. Then we would find the 24mm main camera with 50 megapixels and f1.8 aperture. Then we would have a 48mm virtual lens that is 2x optical zoom with a crop on the sensor, so it would give you 12 megapixel pictures and the aperture would still be f1.8. Then we would find a physical lens of 71mm that is zoom 3x completely optical with 64 megapixels in its resolution and aperture f2.6. And finally we would have a virtual lens of 140mm that is a 6x zoom, which by applying a crop on the sensor would give you 16 megapixel photographs of quite good quality. So definitely this camera configuration is quite advanced. As you go zooming in, it gives you the setting expressed in terms of smartphone and also in terms of camera, that is 1x, 2x, 3x and so on. And also 16mm, 24mm, 48mm and so on. It all depends on which lens you're using. In fact, in street mode, we are going to have expressed in millimeters the quick access to the different focal lengths of this camera. The truth is that it is a very good camera, which in fact has a maximum zoom of 120x digital. And another curious detail is that in portrait mode, it lets you take pictures with the 1x lens or with the 3x lens. I would have loved to see the possibility of taking portraits with 6x, but that won't be available. When recording, the zoom will go up to 18x digital, and it will allow you to switch between the 3 lenses as long as you are recording in full HD. Because the maximum recording can be at 4 to 30 frames per second, but the ultra-wide camera is not available at this setting. Likewise, the ultra-wide camera will not be available when using the dual recording mode, but it does let you use the 1x, 3x, and up to 6x setting. So, in general terms and as first impressions, it seems that we have a very good camera setup for this device. Although, obviously, in a later review, we will make a much more detailed and in-depth analysis, since for now we have only been able to make some photo captures within this environment that Realme prepared in Las Vegas. And as first impressions, they look very good quality photographs, especially the portrait mode photographs. But I insist that this is just an initial glimpse. Let me continue telling you about some of the specifications found in this model, which has a 5000 mAh battery, which also has a charging lock function and also intelligent charging for the user to choose the preferred option in order to maintain a good battery life. Finally, regarding performance, we will find the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 as the processor of this device. The truth is that it is a fairly efficient processor, although we have not tested it very thoroughly, but it should have an excellent performance since it also comes accompanied by 12GB of RAM, which are also complemented by 4GB of virtual RAM, which from my point of view is completely unnecessary having so much physical RAM. On the other hand, the storage goes up to 512GB, so overall we are talking about an extremely complete device, which is probably going to be one of the best competitors in its segment, but we have not yet been able to know the price, as this has been just an initial glimpse that Realme has prepared to show during this year's CES. For the moment, we have reached the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell us, and we'll see you next time.